Okay, welcome back here again. It's been quite some time since I made a video, and I wanted to show you guys something I picked up on eBay, and then one of my new cabinets I just picked up. So the last time I showed you these bezels that went around each one of these games from the, I can't think of his name on eBay. He owns the Galloping Ghost arcade, I believe, in Chicago area. He makes these bezels, and back about 3 years ago I bought a bunch of them, like I said, and they were very poor construction, and the artwork was very poor, and it came in two different pieces that you had to tape together. So I showed the newer ones, and they're very nice. The artwork's very nice. I decided to try the Killer Instinct one, and while I like it, I don't like it as much as the Mortal Kombat stuff. The artwork is a little I don't want to say it's not as crisp as the Mortal Kombat stuff. Some of the logos, the artwork is kind of fading. As you can see, the Killer Instinct, the KI is just kind of like almost like a purplish red. It doesn't display that great, but it also came with a little tear here. I don't know what happened in shipping or whatever, but I mean, all you know, everything in place here. It looks good, and it matches the rest of the games in the lineup here. So that's what I like, is the consistency of that. I'm still waiting to get the damn marquee from the guy I bought on eBay. I don't know where it is. It must have been lost in translation somewhere. But the nice thing about this is the moves on Killer Instinct are impossible to remember. They do have, you know, humiliations, no mercies, and they have finishing moves that not a lot of people know how to do. And you only have a quick second or two to do them, like the Mortal Kombat stuff. So on each one of these, it shows all the moves, you know, the combos and all that stuff. But I just thought it'd be a nice addition. I think they run like about 38 bucks is what he charges, or something like that, on eBay. So like I said, I'm a little disappointed on the quality of this one as far as the artwork goes, the pixelation of each one, and the lack of like vibrant art, say like compared to the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. You can see how nice and clear and crisp the purple is, and you go to this and some of the colors are just kind of off. The MK2 is probably the best of the bunch as far as the artwork goes. It's almost perfect as far as the print goes and the quality of the artwork. MK1 is nice, but there's just not a lot of stuff on it because there's only, you know, so many characters. So for those of you looking for it, it is pretty cool because, you know, you don't have to flip through a damn magazine or remember 75,000 different moves for each character, which in my opinion, I don't like to remember any of that stuff. I got other things to do in my day than remember finishing moves all the time. It's just nice to take a peek before you play and refresh your memory how to do it. So that's one thing, just to kind of finish up the lineup in here. Still have the NFL Blitz, which I completely finished, brought in the house, put all the new Lexan and everything on there, so that turned out nice. And I'm working on, for some reason, figuring out why my Gauntlet Dark Legacy PCB won't display properly in this. It almost does like a triple image. When I plug it in, it'll play like, you know, like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 of the same image. It's kind of odd. So I'm trying to figure that out. I do have the PCB up and running, but I'm trying to figure it out because I'd rather put the Gauntlet in here and play that more often because I like the game better. And this happens to be a medium resolution monitor in here as well. So I'll figure that out at some point in time. All right, so let's go in the garage. I'll show you what I picked up at auction about a month ago. So I had sold a T2 game a long time ago to a friend of mine here in town, and it was one of the games that I actually played the most out of everything. The guns and the action in the game is just really a great game, but they're tough to find in fairly, you know, nice condition. No matter what you do, unless you buy one out of a collector's home or an arcade where it hasn't moved, you're going to get the typical fading around the edges, scratch marks, and then the control panel, it comes with a piece of plexiglass over it, so I don't know what happened. Luckily the shop that I have them make all these Lexan overlays, they still have the file for this, and it's nice and tidy. And once I put the new artwork on, as you can see, it's all scratched up, and you know, I cleaned it up, but there's just, you can't repair stuff like that. So I ordered from Game On Graphics the new artwork, which is, in my opinion, looks pretty good. The blues are a little purplish, and the red is a little like cherry red. Compared to the original, but I mean, for a replacement, it looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. The game works, everything operates properly. The monitor is on the floor because I need to bring it to my guy to put a cap kit in there and just kind of fix a couple of issues. I sold this big blue cabinet that had the Super Street Fighter in it simply because I mean, you can see the room that I have in here. I've showed this before. I don't have a lot of room for the games I want to keep, and I've turned that on once since I bought it. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition is my favorite game as far as the Street Fighter lineup goes, because that's what I played as a kid. I do have some of the other boards that I do plug in there from time to time and play, but this is the one I wanted. This is the actual cabinet that I wanted. It's hard to find this one. That one's a little easier to find. And then I do have, you know, like I said, I have a board. I have it on eBay right now because I just don't play the games. This is that anniversary edition. It has every single version of Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 in it, which is pretty cool. But that's pretty much where I'm at with all the cabinetry. There is another auction coming up. Where I've been getting all my games is, excuse me, Captain's Auctions Warehouse in LA. And I've noticed over the last like 6 to 12 months that the pricing seems to be going a lot higher on things that I used to buy. So I don't know if people are bidding on their own games, which I've heard they allow them to do, or if people are just becoming more of a collector of an arcade games. But luckily I have what I want. There's probably 1 or 2 other games that I'd like to have in my collection at some point in time, but you know, I'd like to have a dedicated Tron game, not the pinball, the actually old school Tron game. And I don't know, maybe at some point in time, you know, a race car driving type game like Outrun or something. But I just don't have the room, as you can see. So eliminating that big blue cabinet will allow me to put either the Rampage over there or the T2 inside. And that's the idea with the T2, is to go next to the Blitz and have the 4 games on one side and the 3 games on the other. That way I have enough room, hopefully, to put the Rampage over there, and I can walk in this whole alleyway over here and have all this access and volume of my garage back to me. So that's it. Just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I picked up. I'll probably take this out once it gets a little warmer here in Las Vegas and do some repairs on it, repaint the front, touch up some of the decals, obviously give it a full cleaning, which I did inside, but the guns need to be taken apart. You can see all the hardware is rusted. Luckily all the gun operations work, but they're just dirty. I mean, you can see there's just dust and dirt everywhere. It needs to be thoroughly cleaned and torn down and rebuilt. And then here's the Gauntlet Dark Legacy PCB. I actually picked this up from Topless. He has his own arcade stuff where he gets his own drives and stuff. He made me the drive. It's Summit Arcade is the name of his website. So he helps me with all this stuff. I actually sent him the board, and the motherboard in the middle that I bought was bad, and he happened to have a working one, and then the battery was bad, and I replaced the battery. Not a lot of people know these boards have batteries, but it just pops off, and this is the battery, this yellow thing here. But so that's it. You know, like I said, I'm just kind of slowing down on buying stuff and restoring stuff because, number one, I don't have a lot of time, and secondly, as you can see, I don't have the space to do it in, which is unfortunate. But that's the way of the world. So at some point in time down the road, maybe I get a new house and, you know, can have a dedicated game room / man cave in the house. But as it stands right now, I think my garage is fairly enjoyable to come out here. I got some pinball machines, the arcade games, the $30 plasma TV that my brother gave me from the Mirage, and then a little test station and all my cabinetry, all my crap in it. So I mean, I'm allowed to do what I want in here. I don't bother anybody. I can make as much noise in here as I want, and I can watch TV, which is kind of cool. But you know, you can just see the amount of area or room that I have to work in here is very, very small right now. So once I get these 2 games, the T2 inside and hopefully the Rampage over there, I'll have some room if I want to buy something. I have still another dedicated Killer Instinct cabinet in storage that's painted black. And once it starts to get a little warmer here in the next 60 days, I'm going to bring that in, hopefully in this room here, and strip both sides and completely restore it and hopefully sell it to a collector that wants it. So I just thought I'd share with you guys a little bit of my recent pickups. Not a lot of stuff, but the Killer Instinct Bezel, the Gauntlet Dark Legacy PCB that I'm hopefully going to put in the Blitz game, and then the dedicated T2 Midway game that I'm going to bring in the house when it's done. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.